You two could show up.
Our
Yeah,
pleasure.
yeah, no worries. I enjoyed it. I liked it a lot.
Yeah, very good. I was made. Some places you feel like you're an outsider. I didn't feel like an outsider there at all.
Good.
Uh,
It's just
the
the
only
way
thing,
we are.
the only
Michigan's a
thing we were
tourist
missing
state,
was the
so
accent.
everybody wants it. You know, we're
Yeah,
welcome tourists. But now it's virtual.
Yeah.
that's good.
Sorry,
I like
Jay.
it.
What were you saying?
I said, I rudely interrupted there. Sorry, Bob, but I said the only thing we were missing there, Robbo, was the accents.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. Good morning, Stace.
How
How
you
are
going,
you?
Steve? Yeah, my hand's much better now, and I'm sure this piece of wood will tell me otherwise if it's not. Right, looks like young Blair has joined us.
Young Blair, I like you. I like you a lot.
Well,
Sorry.
to Bob and I, everybody looks young these days.
Oh,
Yeah.
yep, in that one.
Yep.
Yep. How you
How
going,
true.
Tom?
G'day, Tommy. How are you?
Robbo, did you get any sleep?
No, I haven't had any yet. I was just saying I might have to have a nana nap this afternoon.
Yeah, for sure.
After I see whether our barber's open or not.
You can have a
That's
sleep.
right,
while
you
he's
can
cutting your
travel
hair,
now.
Robbo. Sorry. You can have a sleep while he's cutting your hair, Robbo.
Yeah, I hope they got a wool press out the backyard, I tell you, because, man, there's going to be a lot of hair.
Can you braid it yet?
Oh, just about. I reckon I could. Yeah, I reckon I could plait this lot. No problems at all. Actually, I might look like I might go the Yosemite Sam look. You know.
Yeah, no, that's
Hey.
pretty cool. Yeah.
How's your southern accent?
What, the Australian accent?
About as far
Okay.
south as you can get.
What kind of accent are you after? That was bad. Sorry. that was like
No,
Blair
what
the accent.
what I should have done was been like one of my cousins. Well, cousins. Good morning. How are you all today?
Are they from the country?
Yeah,
Baton Rouge.
yeah, dairy farmers.
Yeah. They talk to the cows all day. They're waiting for an answer. That's why they talk so slow when they're talking to humans. Huh?
Yeah, the only. No, I know a lot of people like that. You can have breakfast while they're saying good morning to you. You know.
Yeah.
Oh,
Well, I have to say the after chat that was very positive, and people were very pleased that I and invited you, and I got a ton of email and stuff like that from different club members saying, "Bring more, invite more. We need diversity because everybody knows each other, and having a different way of doing something is very important."
Yeah.
Yeah.
agreed.
And I even had Steve, of which I didn't know that was his name because he doesn't give it at all on his YouTube channel. Even he commented about sent me a chat back and was saying he appreciated it because he was really made to feel at home for the first time in
Yeah.
the wood turning club.
That's good.
Yeah. It's a bit disheartening to hear stories of what Steve said, to be honest, since I haven't joined one yet.
Well, as I said on the thing, that as a professional turner, you really get, what's he here for, you know? And they really, in some of them, they distance themselves right away from you.
Yeah.
And hang it on. Oh, Jesus, Nick's in. You out of bed, Nick.
It's the wrong time of the day, Robbo. We're normally on later.
I know, but I'm still surprised to see you.
Hang on,
Sorry,
Nick.
Nick.
He's not really sorry. Just thought he'd better say it on camera.
No,
Do you guys register or come in the Facebook on our Facebook page?
we certainly
Yeah,
have.
yeah,
Sure
I did
did.
that yesterday. Can you see the cracks in that?
Oh
In
yeah.
this
Yeah,
Oh yeah, radial fractures.
Yeah,
yeah.
that's this nasty piece.
Typical thing.
It's
Oh,
I think it was ghost gum.
early for you lot then, for a change. Yeah, that does count, Nick. Just don't fall the wrong way, that's all.
Alright. Oh, that's right. I sent Sid a message and he goes, he's heading to Mount Gambier soon, so
From Sid.
yeah. That
Hey
flame
Tommy. Hey Space.
Hey?
Hey Nick. Just saying hi to people.
Alright, I'll let you off then.
Don't
Right.
ban me, man.
Well, did Max fall out of bed, did he? My three of us boys shared the same bedroom, and I had the centre bed, and my two brothers had the beds up against the wall. And my younger brother one night rolled over. Oh, about 2 o'clock in the morning, all we could hear was this yelling. Mum and Dad come screaming in, turned the lights on and everything. And Evan, Alan, at least my younger brother, got wedged between the wall and the bed, and he couldn't get enough leverage to get himself back up again. We all just stood there and laughed, of course. Typical brothers, you know.
Bet it wasn't funny to him though.
No.
Oh yeah, falling out of a bunk bed is not good.
Yeah, that's no good. As long as no damage.
As long as the furniture's fine, Stace, it's all good.
Yeah, broken heads, arms, shoulders. It's all good. Builds character.
There's a comedian on. Sorry, what was that, Joe?
I was about to say I'm going to flick the camera over so you can see what I'm doing.
Rightio.
But you
There's
go for it.
There's a comedian I like watching on one of the comedy channels. He doesn't swear or anything. He's very, very funny. He talks about his family and his wife. And he's just an absolute scream, you know, like him describing the slides that we used to slide down where in summertime they were that hot you could fry an egg on them, you know, and you'd leave 3 layers of skin going down there.
Oh, yeah, I remember that.
And just the things he said, that's how you learn not to be stupid, you know, because you're going to hurt yourself. These days, kids are wrapped up in cotton wool, and you're talking about putting his granddaughter on the plastic slide that's only about 3 foot high, and she could only slide about 1 bum length, you know. So we had to go push her down the slides until she got to the bottom.
Laundry's done.
Yep, I got to go take care of it. Be right back.
All right. See you later, Bob.
What was that?
Bob's laundry is done.
You want to sit and talk
Oh.
to Australia?
I thought someone passed wind.
While I get the laundry out.
So what kind of wood is that?
Live chat.
Cyprus.
Oh, come on, Robbo. You couldn't even let me play with that. I was going to say it grows on a tree. But now you've just thrown that all out the window.
Oh, I'm sorry about that.
Out.
Looks like a nice blank, though.
It's nicely cracked too, unfortunately.
Yeah, it's got a good
Aren't we
crack.
all?
Got a
It's
good
got
crack
a-
through the middle of it.
Yeah, it's got one there, and that goes that way, and then there's one that goes that way, and then one that goes that way, and then another one that goes that way, and then another 3 or 4 that go that way. So, this is going to be an interesting piece, to say the least.
Yeah, we had a few here, Tommy, that were they were about 16 or 17 feet off the ground, up the ladder part. They were great fun. Used to be even better trying to climb up the slide part rather than the stairs, you know.
Hey, Nick,
That's
just
amazing. We even survived. You know that, Robbo?
Yeah,
Riding around in cars without seat belts, riding in back of trucks with no seat belt.
I used to love it. About once a month, my father used to go and out to a wrecking yard to buy bits and pieces for the cars he was fixing up. It was about 15 miles away from our place, but there was a big hump in the middle across a railway crossing, and we used to go ride. We used to ride in the trailer all the way out there, and he'd deliberately speed up at the hump so as we all jumped up in the air, you know. God, you'd be shot if you did that these days with kids in the back.
Yeah, I remember when I was in high school, I had a buddy that had a truck, and there was a great place that you were going downhill, and there were some railroad tracks, and then you went back downhill again. That was a lot of fun.
I had an Austin A40, which is it was about the size of the original mini Miner, and we had 8 blokes in it one night. We went down this hill, this on a dirt road, jumped over the railway line. I reckon it was airborne for about 45 feet. When it came back down, it flattened the suspension out, and bloody gravel got up everywhere. Took me about 12 months, I reckon, to get the gravel out of every bit of that car because it was caught in the chassis rails and everywhere else.
Oh my
It had
God.
a bad dose of gravel rush.
Oh,
that car would have looked like a clown car with all you guys getting out of that.
Oh, yeah.
so Tommy says I used to sleep on the parcel shelf when I was a kid, laid on the back window.
Yeah, Mum and Dad later on had a station wagon, and us 3 boys would sleep in the back of the station wagon when they went to a dance. And just drive home, I always knew when I was getting home there was one orange street light, and we all pretended to be asleep so as they'd leave us in the car and go inside, you know.
Can't do that anymore.
No, geez, if you have an unrestrained kid in the car these days, it's just about suicide on the wallet, that's for sure.
Yep.
Yeah, I agree with you, Nick. Health and safety has killed loads of people's fun. Overprotective.
I'm gonna put the camera over this piece and just show you the amount of cracks that are in it, just so you can get just as worried as me. All right.
Yeah, all right.
This I wasn't originally going to turn it into a bowl, but stuff it. Why not? All right. So you got lovely ones going that way. There, and then you got one that's scooping across this way here.
Jeez.
Like
Yeah,
that's a grain one, isn't it?
That's a ring shake, it's called.
Yep. And then there's actually another one another ring shake on the opposite side, and that's quite wavy, which kind of is a bit like,
Yeah.
And then it's got
that ring shake might be just thing. Now, what I would do with that, Jay, is start from the bottom, like we normally do, and just see how the cracks are going. But for goodness sake, stand out of the way.
Yeah, I might put it down on the lower speed though, I reckon, because it's on middle range speed at the moment.
What was that, Jay?
I don't know who that noise is coming from, but it isn't me.
Not me.
What? Not me. What was that? What was that you said, Jay? Put it on a lower speed?
Oi! It's the wrong day for doing that, I'll tell you. Yeah, it took me a bit longer to twig on because I'm a bit sleepy, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, the later on it gets through the day, the slower things go.
Oi, hey, yeah. Sounds like you need a new lighter.
Yeah, it's not good. I think it's running out of gas. G'day, Ian. How are you?
Hey, Ian. How's your shed?
How you going? Who?
Ian in the shed's just come in.
All right. How you going, Ian? Sorry, I'm kind of setting up my lathe, changing gears and stuff, so can't really look at the monitor at the moment.
And Stace, you're forgiven for not looking at my live the other night if you had a birthday party. They're more important than I am.
You could have made that the live, like the birthday party part.
Well, they could have done, yeah, that's true. We could have sat back and... Oh, you don't want to come into mine, Ian, I tell you. Hasn't been cleaned for nearly a month.
Just get the blower out and just open up the door.
That's normally what I do.
I got to do that in just a little bit. My front yard is full of leaves.
Right.
Oh, well, you're just coming into what you call fall, isn't it?
Oh, yeah. Starting to get cooler, and pretty soon there'll be snow on the ground, and I'll be grumbling. And
Do you fall a lot?
Do I fall a lot?
In fall?
No, not usually.
Uh-huh.
Wintertime I do. Shoveling snow sucks.
I've never done that. It doesn't snow in South Australia.
Yes, Tommy, I can. My father had to do it frequently. And when my kids were growing up, I had to do it frequently. Game Boys came in while my kids were kids. And I hate things beeping. And anyway, they'd sit in the back seat and it'd be beep, 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 beep. Look, Matthew, can you put that on silent, please? Yeah, all right. Be silent for 2 minutes. Then suddenly, beep, 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 beep. And it was a perfect shot. I just reached across who was sitting in the centre, and I just turned around. I grabbed it immediately and threw it straight out the window.
Well, that'll show them.
Yeah.
Well,
I'll tell you what,
can I say
never...
that?
Sorry?
That Game Boy's must be worth a lot of money now, you know?
I know. I was watching a show the other night, and I was somewhere, and some of the toys that we just used to throw out when they were finished with, God, they're worth a bloody fortune now.
Yeah, I've got a Game Boy that's it's number 1 off the line, you say. So I've kept that one stashed away
Yeah.
for a rainy day.
Oh, did I miss something there, Nick, about Jay? Must be the Yanks that fall a lot.
No, I asked Blair if he does he fall a lot in fall.
Oh, right.
I think it kind of went over his head, or he just didn't want to answer. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know why the Americans can't call it like the rest of the world autumn, you know.
You know what? You got me. I just go along with it. I guess it's because the leaves fall on the ground. I don't know.
I'm not saying nothing to that. I'm too tired. I mostly dig my own hole.
Yeah, that's the advantage, I suppose, these days of videos and that. You can keep the kids quiet in the back seat.
I'll tell you, when they came out with those, CD players or DVD players that you have a screen that hooks on the back seat and then can plug into your sound system, that was a miracle. When we would take my kids on trips and stuff like that, it made them quiet, and we were just great. Except then you start learning all of the lines to like Pocahontas and different stuff because they watch over and over and over again.
Yeah, when our grandkids are here, they've got one thing they like playing on the TV. I can just about quote the whole story verbatim, I tell you.
Alright. Here it is. So I may need some super glue, and I don't know if I've got any.
Yeah.
Hey, since it's got that big lump in the middle, it'll be right starting there, eh? Coming back this way.
No, start further out towards the edge. Creep. Whenever you got cracks, always creep up on them. Don't. Angle the flute a bit more.
Yeah, I'm just going to put the tool rest in a bit.
And it's probably going to be fairly hard too.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
Stacy, are you being naughty? Talking about crack. Crack kills,
Don't sweep at it. Cut it.
Oh.
Keep the pressure on the chisel.
Yeah. I'm cautiously putting pressure on the chisel with my right hand. So.
Yeah.
I'm going to move this camera. It's getting in the way.
Yeah, a mate of mine used to call it 3/4 inch putty, Stace.
Come on now.
No, get rid of a bit more off the outside first.
And this is the first time I've come in from a bowl with on this height as well. So that's what's making it. I was trying to figure out what was making it different, and it's the height.
Yeah. Well, actually, Tommy, I reckon that lathes were made for left-handers. The way I've shown him how to turn that, he's actually doing it the other way. Well, I'm fairly lucky, Stace. I'm ambidextrous, so it never worries me.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you know what? I'm ambidextrous too. I can pick my nose with that hand and that hand.
Oh wow! You should have your own live, Blair.
Should I?
I don't know, with talent like that, can't let it
No,
go away.
actually, Tommy, it's easier with a left hand doing bowls than what it is with a right hand, particularly doing the outside.
Here, I'll mute it for you.
Yeah, that
It's
wood
just like
sounds really hard and dry.
it's Cyprus is funny stuff. It turns great when it's wet and soft, but it can be very, very hard and brittle when it gets older.
Yeah.
No, you don't have to switch hands necessarily to do beads, Stace. You can do them with the one hand. I just find it easier to do it with both of them. Like if you watch a bloke called Steve Jones, he always works right-handed. Just switch it off and have a look at it, Jay. Yeah, it's a bit harder doing the inside with your left hand, I must admit.
Ooh, you got some nice bug holes in there.
Yeah.
Yeesh. That bowl has so much character. That's what it is,
Not the bug holes that I'm worried about.
right?
All right, do a few more cuts. Yeah. Do a few more cuts and have a look and see.
All right.
I tell you, we're still talking about wood turning, are we, Tommy? You know, Jay, 6 months ago you couldn't do a cut like that.
Six months ago, I would have laughed if someone said I could do that.
G'day, Yappy, how are you?
How you going, Yuppie?
What's up, Yappy?
Because we've been up since 3 o'clock this morning, that's why. Oh, I know what you're talking about, Nick.
Is he taking over Steve's role?
Yeah, I'm back.
So I see. No, we went to a wood turning club meeting in America via Zoom.
And boy, is his arm tired.
All right, switch it off and have another look, Jay. When you're working on something like this, always switch it off and have a good look at it. Can save a lot of pain. Ah, g'day, Mike. How are you? You finished that roof yet?
Hey, Mike.
How you going, Mike?
Yarpy's in as well, Jay.
Yep, I said hello to him.
Oh, sorry. America. Yeah. What's it actually on, Mike? It must be a fairly big building, is it?
I'm sitting there shaking my head, reading what Tommy wrote, and I'm thinking, shit, I'm not on camera, and I've got to acknowledge that I've read something because they don't know unless I say it. Okay. All right, I'm going to sharpen this.
Yeah, that'd be a good idea. Oh yeah, right. Yeah, we've done a lot of veranda post restorations on Victorian houses around Melbourne, and one of the longest ones was, believe it or not, it was 18 metres high and one continuous post all the way up. We had 10 of them to do it. Supported 3 stories, and they were all one length post.
What are you cooking in that thing, Blair?
Gonna melt some plastic.
Oh yeah, maybe put your air mask on for that one, eh? Your dust mask. That'll stink.
For a long time, I've been cutting up bottles and stuff like that.
Yeah,
I'm gonna make a mallet.
including the bottle that you've got the cut up bottles in.
Yeah,
Let's
I
just
could.
turn on living room light.
Yeah. What is that ticking noise? Is that your timer on your
It
microphone?
is. I'll put myself on mute. Sorry.
No, you're right. I just wondered what it was. I thought someone was getting frustrated with me or something. Come on, they're waiting. Tick, 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 tick.
Yeah, I don't know what your occupational health and safety laws are like over there, Mike, but over here now, if you're more than 1.5 metres off the ground, you've got to be on scaffolding, and or on a lift, and the scaffolding blokes are making a fortune, I tell you.
Yeah, when they painted, because besides you, Robbo, most people don't know I live in a townhouse, a 2-story. So when they come to paint the very top gutters, they had to have scaffolding, and I've lived here for 20 years, and that's the first time. I mean, not the first time they painted, but it's the first time that painters have come out with scaffolding to do it. Every other time, it's just been ladders.
Yeah, that's right.
It was very annoying, hey, because it's so cumbersome. You know, you gotta be a contortionist just to get to your front and back door.
I had a friend that used to have one of the lifting platforms, and 12 years or so ago he was nearly broke, and then they changed the occupation health and safety height laws, and he's got over 300 machines now that he hires out all over Australia. I take you're putting a tenon on it, are you, Jay?
Yeah, I'm not game enough to put a mortise on it, or most would split it.
Yeah. Lives in Salisbury, Bob.
Thanks.
Or Salisbury Downs, at least.
I live in a house on the street. Does that help?
Somebody asked me once where I lived, and I said, yeah, well, I'm the lighthouse keeper on Ayers Rock.
That's funny to the people that know about Ayers Rock because there's no lighthouses.
I think the Americans know what Ayers Rock is, and I think the English should know what Ayers Rock is as well.
Do they know what Uluru is?
I don't call it that, no. What, Stace? You haven't got a soldering iron?
Just use your burning tool. Same thing.
Yeah, use your pyrography machine.
Yeah.
You know, Mike, the way that you did that wooden cone, I would have just drilled and put it onto a screw chuck and turned it. I take it you're trying to hold wooden rings, are you?
You talking Mike?
No, Midnight Joker. Yeah, Mike.
Yeah, that's his name. Yeah.
Ah, okay, well, that answers that question.
Oh, come on, Stace, don't bypass it. Do a challenge.
Well,
It's a lot of fun.
what are you on about?
Melton HDPE.
Oh yeah.
I've made all sorts of stuff with that. Knives and pizza cutters and fun.
Here's a look at him then. I can't mute yourself now, buddy. Come on.
What did you say, Jay?
I said, have you got any to show us?
Unfortunately, no. I gave everything I had away, and then we moved, and I threw a bunch of stuff away. This is the first bunch of stuff I've done in a year.
Yeah, we used to turn a lot of urethanes and plastics for making suspension pieces on a metal lathe. God, it's messy stuff. Bloody streamers all over the workshop.
Yeah, I bet. Do you have a mold or anything you put that in, Blair, or do you make your own mold? Okay.
Yeah, screw chucks are easy to make. Just have a good look at those cracks again, Jay. Yeah, a bit worried about that one.
This one here, it's
Both of them. Well, the three of them, actually.
yeah. Hopefully they're holding each other together, eh?
Well,
I stand at the back of my lathe, so
don't forget to rock with the... Just sit the chisel on your hip, Jay, and just rock sideways.
yeah, it's hard when I'm half lent over the arse end bed of the arse end of the bed. I'm kind of leaning on my on-off switch pretty much.
Yeah.
Hey, Rob CP, how are you?
Hello, Rob. How are you?
How you going, Rob?
That wood almost looks like terracotta.
Oh, it's very dusty. It's real punky there too.
Yeah, I noticed that on the blank. Get a bit of style into it, not just a straight side.
I was trying to curve it, but then I kept stuffing it up.
Just move your rest in a bit.
I like the idea of doing those mason jar lids. That was pretty cool.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to make me some of those. That's a good thing for Christmas.
Yeah, if you visit Ron Brown's site, Ron Brown has a YouTube video on it he did for his club years ago with a lot of different examples. And he used to make them a lot, but then he said sick and tired of them because everybody wanted them and he didn't want to be a production channel.
Tell me again who it is, Robert? Or
Ron Brown.
Ron Brown?
You know, Ron Brown's best. Or as I know him, Pastor Brown, because I remember when he had a church he ministered to. I don't know if he still does, but years ago that was one of the big things because he did videos about his church services too. And how he rebuilt a church, an antique church. Him and a few others got together to restore one.
What's Amber hammering that?
I've got my microphone on mute. My microphone's been on mute, so it's not me, and she's still in bed.
Oh, right. Now, Joe, to get a curve, what you do is you don't take it out of there. Take it off the bottom and don't take any off the sides. And then take a bit off the top. Yeah, good night, Yaffy. I hope that back of yours is getting better. Right, now stop there. Now do another one.
Did Yappy leave?
He's on his way. Yeah, he's gone to bed
Thanks for coming in, Yappy.
after he takes his medicine. Now don't take any more off there. You realise, don't you, Mike, that everybody now is searching for it?
What was that?
Mike, he put in, I really wish I hadn't Googled anal flute.
Are you sure about that, Mike? You seem to have a bit of a devious mind.
I bet you do, Rob. Now, just careful, start backing the cut off, Jay. Don't take as much off. Remember, you're drawing with the point of the gouge, like you do with a pencil. Watch out you don't run off the end of the rest, too. He's just making it up as we're going along, Rob. He did have a straight sides down it, so I'm trying to get him to put a little bit of style into some of these bowls. It's 9:10 in the morning, Mike.
I be losing my patience.
What?
I say I be losing my patience, man.
Why?
Because it's frustrating me. It's not getting smooth, and it's just I go to correct that bit, and then I make another bump, and then I correct that bit and
That's
make
all
another
right.
bump.
Get the rough shape into it first, and then you can do a cut all the way down it and smooth it out.
Yeah, that's the problem. I have no bowl left by the time I get to that point. So I know I'm gonna stuff this up. So, but anyway, here goes nothing. Oh, piss.
Well, you can use a shear scope if you want to. That's that knot.
Yeah.
Is that not punky or is it pretty solid?
Oh,
wow.
it's a little bit of both, eh? But where the crack is, where it's holy there, it's a bit punky, but around it, it's pretty hard. And then you got this bit here too, you see?
Yeah.
Yeah, don't mind me. Like that, yeah?
Sorry?
Like
Yeah,
that. It's
like
just
that.
using that bit there.
Yeah. Handle low. Handle right. Move your tool rest in a little bit. And drop it down as low as it'll go.
That's it. It is always low. Yeah.
Right. Okay. Now, the handle of the chisel should be nearly on your knee.
Okay.
Just nice and gently. Don't forget, you can go both ways if you have to.
Yeah.
Right, just have a look at it, see what it feels like.
Is someone doing the dishes or are they making the dishes? It's not too bad.
Yeah,
What?
I don't think I can do both hands. I'm pretty much a right-handed turner.
You need to get a lathe stand so you can actually get around the back of your lathe, and then you might need to use your other hand.
Well, if I can swivel my head, which I can, but I haven't really done it, maybe
Look,
I'd use
look to the
left.
right. Look to the right. Can you look to the right? Yeah, now look to the left. You swiveled your head. You swiveled your head?
Yes.
All right. I'll just
You're
go back to
funny.
sleep. I'll just go back to sleep now, right?
You need some sleep there, pal.
I need more coffee. Let's put it this way.
What is that squeal?
Don't know.
Does someone's pacemaker need oiling? I wasn't being rude. I wasn't trying to be.
Drop your handle down a bit, Joe. Yeah, it's not that one I'm worried about.
Something sounded different. I might just sand it from there, I think.
Well, I think it might be a good idea.
So I got this on if I'm a bit muffled.
Jay, you gonna put anything in that crack, or you gonna just leave it?
I might see what it's like when I turn it over and start digging into it.
That little punky spot looks like the Star Trek logo. It does.
It does, doesn't it?
Thing underneath.
Yep, the little badge they have on their shirt.
You can call it the Space Bowl.
Yeah.
Bull turning, the final frontier. These
To
are
go
the
where no man has gone before.
That's hobby turning, isn't it? Oh, now you want to come out.
Yeah, market Cyprus. No, you spelled it right the first time, Mike. Oh no, we have some that aren't quite so hard. How long have you been turning for, Rob? Yeah, if you turn Cyprus when it's wet or damp, it's quite soft, but once it starts drying out, it's got a lot of silica in it. So it tends to rip the hell out of the chisels. I'm scared of all mine too, Rob, I tell you. Excuse me.
Damn, that sounded like a beer burp, Robbo.
No, Coke burp.
Oh, okay, yep, close enough.
No, all the machines in here scare the hell out of me. You learn to have a healthy respect for every machine. You live longer that way.
Yes.
You coming up all right, Joe?
Yeah. I'll wait till I hit it with the metho. That'll reveal all its nasty cracks. I don't know. I might have to have another live later. I don't know what I'm going to do with myself.
Oh, I'll probably be asleep.
I can't sleep now, otherwise I won't sleep tonight.
Yeah, that's my problem too.
Well, I tell you, it was nice having you with the meeting.
Oh, it's
Sorry?
good to be there.
Yeah. Yeah, it's nice to see what a club meeting actually looks like, since I can't go to one here.
They're not all like that, Jay, unfortunately.
What do you mean? They're not all that friendly?
No.
Why do it when I go to a club? Am I allowed to mention your name, or is that forbidden?
Might get you thrown out of some.
Well, then they're the clubs I don't want to be a part of.
Well, the links I gave you guys for the AWGB, they meet in the afternoon on Tuesdays and Fridays. That's
Yeah, they're a more sensible time. They're 5 o'clock in the morning.
But the nice thing is that the people there that are involved, they're mostly England, Ireland, and Scotland, and they have some fun teasing each other. Sometimes they decide that we don't have a brogue, and next thing you know, everyone's listening to see what they're trying to say. But they have a sense of humor, but they've mostly been turning, at least 15 or to 20 years. And there are several professionals. And of course, our friend that was in from Alaska, he's been a member of it from the beginning, representing the clubs in Alaska and talking about it. Uh, but it's an interesting meeting, and
Yeah, I'm just kicking myself that I got the wrong day for it the other day.
it's our Tuesdays and
Your Wednesday.
Wednesday, Friday. Yeah, our Tuesdays and Fridays. Our Tuesdays and Fridays. It would be your Wednesdays and Saturdays. The international dateline tends to screw up clocks to me.
Yeah, and then we've got daylight savings on top of that as well too, and that's mucked me up a bit.
Yeah, that stuffs me right up. That does.
Yeah, we still have it here.
Yeah. When does it end there, Bob?
I think the end of the month.
Oh yeah.
I'm not sure, but yeah, it's nice. You got more time out during the daylight.
Yeah, I'd like I said one other time, I'd like them to switch the time forward about 3 hours and leave it there.
Well, you got a big enough territory or of land to do that, because I don't think that people would. They don't set their clocks or train schedules to it because that was the original problem that caused daylight savings time here was railroad time tables. Nobody could figure out what city was in what time zone. So they had to fix the time zones and make them permanent, and the railroads did that basically. They helped the government set it up. Uh, and then they, it's like early railroads. What time is it? There wasn't, you know, a standard time. Like in Russia, there's Russia Standard Time. It doesn't matter where you live in the country, it's one standard time.
Yeah.
But if you catch a train and you go from city to city and the time zones change, that tends to screw people up too. So they had railroad time. But now with the advent of our intelligent smartphones, it keeps track of it automatically as you
Yeah.
ask anything. Like I want to know what time it is there in Australia. I just put it in and it adjusts for daylight savings on both ends. Though it does ask, what city to know what time zone there.
Yeah. Tommy, if it's any consolation, there's a couple of clubs around here that are like that. They're quite snooty and they seem to think they know it all. And yeah, Rob, up until probably 30 years ago, a lot of turners just wouldn't share their secrets or anything anyway. Me, I'm 70 years old. I'm coming to the end of things, so I don't have any secrets. If somebody wants to know something, I just tell them.
Yeah, I agree. I'm 74 and, I'm giving the Undertaker a run for his money when I get asked at the VA, how do I feel? That's about the same answer you can give.
Yeah,
But it always gets a smile, and I think that's great when you can have someone you're working with, a doctor, a clerk, whatever. They're dealing with pressure all the time, and not just the pressure, the patient load, but other things. And if you can put a smile on their face, it goes much better for them and for you.
oh, I quite agree.
Yeah, I don't mind people laughing at me. I'd rather have them laugh with me, but I got an odd sense of humor, I've been told, or no sense of humor.
Ah, yeah, I'm the same. G'day, Dutch. How are you?
Hey, Dutch.
There you go, Dutch.
Well,
Congratulations on all of your subs and I mean you're new man to the scene. You're doing some great stuff. Like it.
Dinner.
Dinner.
yeah, I'm a bit like you, Nick. I try to be subtle about some things, but some things you can't be subtle about. So I tend to open my mouth and say what I think.
Hey, Steve.
Oh, Steve Coombs, how are you?
How you going, Steve?
You got quite a following for so early in the day for you.
Oh, well, normally Jay's on when it's getting up towards midnight over there.
Right.
So
Nick Hobbit Sander.
yeah,
Dinner. Let Ava know. Thank you.
The one thing I'd like it if you would, when you hit the Facebook page, your Facebook page, when you log into the club, post your videos.
Okay,
Ah,
I could do that.
That's great. You'll end up with a lot of comments that way, and probably 90% of them, if they're within the club, are all going to be positive. So I think a lot of the negative stuff are bots because they repeat the same thing over and over again, word for word, like it's copy and paste by a machine.
Yeah, they're annoying, those things, aren't they?
oh,
What surprised me was Steve
sorry.
from England. What surprised me was Steve in England. Uh,
Ah,
I was watching him to begin with. I cut over to where his picture was, and he was just slouching back, staring at his computer screen. And that's when I brought up, well, say hi to him and whatever. And then people realized who he was, and the president did when he looked at the name uh, and where he was from. And his whole personality changed. If you noticed, he was excited and putting in input, and because as he said, their clubs are all snobs,
yeah.
or they're socially discriminated based on where they live. I don't know if you'd call that a snob, but
Area snob.
yeah.
Yeah. Hey, Nick.
Seems a-
Hey, Nick, you know what, man? You should just take those thumbs downs as someone's paying attention to you. Doesn't matter if it's bad. I don't take my thumbs down as bad. I don't care. I still see it as a thumbs up as far as I'm concerned. And they actually had to come onto your page and do that. So it's
No, they haven't got the right symbol for me to put on Jay's.
Hey,
oh,
that'll be enough out of you.
a question mark, would that do?
That, yeah, plus a few other things.
You mean a pile of fecal product? That's the appropriate place word, isn't it?
Yeah.
I know that they got an emoji of it.
So Rob CP has a question.
Yeah, I see that.
What is the
If you
best
want-
way to get honest critique on our turnings? It's just funny how things have turned out. Whoops! Wait a minute, that jumped too quick.
You're reading it. You're reading two at once. Rob's asked, what is the best way to get honest critique on our turning from qualified turners? Okay. 90% of people will say, oh, that looks good, that looks fantastic, because they're scared of offending everybody. If I can't say something nice about something, then I don't say anything at all on the web, because I don't, like, I can get away with telling Jay what I think, and I can probably get away with telling Blair what I think, but most people don't want to. But if you want an honest critique on something, ask me, and I will tell you.
Yeah. Now, like, if someone's got something bad to say about me, I'd rather they said it to my face. To be honest, I'd rather they just come right up and said it to me and get it over and done with. Instead of being a bitch about it or whatever.
Yeah.
There's no need for it.
Well, like I said the other day, I never say anything to anybody about behind their back until I've told them first.
Yep.
Did you kill some?
Now this is where it could get interesting, Jay.
Yeah. Let's go and doing the old crackaroo as I'm tightening the chuck.
Yeah.
Gonna be like a seesaw action, isn't it? I tighten it here and it goes twang here.
Yeah. Yeah, unfortunately, Nick, I didn't see yours. Probably because it was on too late at night or early morning for me.
Yeah, his live was on when we were in that Zoom meeting, Robbo.
Oh, right.
I went on there on my phone, but it was hard to pay attention to what Matt was talking about because he was doing the demo at the time, and what Nick was doing. So keep an eye out.
Yeah, I agree with you, Tommy. Like, constructive criticism is good, but some people are as subtle, as I said this morning in a meeting that we're in, some people are as subtle as a hammer.
You're not talking about yourself there, are you, Robbo?
I generally I will ask and say, why did you do it this way and not round that way or something like that? So I'll try to I'll try to soften it a little bit. The only time I ever really do my lolly is if somebody is doing something totally unsafe.
Yep.
And then I'll have no hesitation in hanging it on them.
Hey, Bob brought dinner. Woohoo!
Don't worry, Nick. You're getting 43. Look at the number that are in here. I think 9's the highest amount of people I've ever had in a live. I don't care. Whatever. It's up
for dinner.
It's up for replay. What's going on?
Dr. Bob brought us some hamburgers for dinner.
Oh,
Sloppy Joe's, homemade.
pass them through the screen.
Yeah, well, that goes to an old 1940s movie, The Four-Sided Triangle. It's on YouTube, but you got to call it up by that, The Four-Sided Triangle. It's the look of what is going to happen and be common practice today. But
No, Nick,
like the 50s.
I've watched you all the time. The only time that I'm concerned is about your bare feet. That's all. But that's because in my workshop it is just totally not allowed because of stuff like I tend to drop screws on the floor when I unscrew things. So it's not just the sawdust that's a problem. It's little sharp things that are the problem.
And I have to admit, I stopped going barefoot. I have sandals on because past month I've picked up little metal shards in the bottom of my feet, and it's taken a while to work out. So
Yeah, well, see, I've always been in a metal type industry, and in fact, it's rather funny, but I wear Crocs a lot of the time. Like I'm in Crocs at the moment because I knew I wasn't doing any turning, but I can't mentally. I can't turn properly if I'm not in my work boots. So
Yeah,
I
when
just
winter
feel
time comes
totally
around,
uncomfortable.
I'll be in
Sorry.
boots. When winter time comes around, I'll be in boots.
Yeah, I just feel totally uncomfortable in nothing but boots. So
Yeah, I wear them. I just can't go working in a shop without boots on. A couple of near accidents where I would lose a toe or have a. One time was a woodworking chisel just happened to fall and it stuck in my boot straight down, straight up.
yeah,
And I thought for sure I had lost it, but it had caught it. Just the grommet that was holding the tongue in place caught it. And after that, I decided someone up there is trying to tell me something and protected me from my own idiocy. So I wear it. I take it as a divine, hey, look out, I'm going to wiggle my finger and the Red Sea's going to close on you type climax. Maybe it's wrong, but I have them at the shop and I put them on when I go in. They're not steel toed. I can't wear them anymore, but they're heavy leather work boots.
I've never been able to wear steel caps. My feet are too wide for them, and just about amputates my little toe. So I always had to have a a certificate to say that I couldn't wear steel caps on some sites because that's the way it goes. Yeah, Steve, Nick's got pudgy hobbit feet. And Robbo, don't worry, they're used to frolicking around the forest. Yeah, all right.
Can I do the where I where you put it in here, come in like that, and then dig down in through there? Am I better off using the spindle gouge for that over the bowl?
No, on a bowl you don't do it. It's only on end grain that you do that.
Okay, all right.
If you want to, if that's side grain, if you want to put a hole in it, drill a hole in it.
All right.
What'll happen if you put a gouge in there?
Yeah.
You've only got to get it. You've only got to get it uneven on one side, and it'll just pull you around like nothing on earth.
All right. I was going to do it, but I thought, no, I better ask first.
Yeah, no, that's good. Yeah, I'm like you, Dutch. My feet are that soft. Up until I was 11, I very rarely wore shoes at all. But then I had to become cultured because I went to high school.
Is that what they called the hippies back then? Was it cultured?
Yeah. Tommy, I agree to a certain point about new turners in a group. I try and be nice, and when people are calling work dog bowls, but if the bloke's been turning for a while and all he's churning out is dog bowls or brake drums, as I call them, then I'll say to him, look, you need to just put a little bit of design work into that. That's what I've been trying to get Jay to do.
Was I meant to answer anything to that or what?
Sorry?
Was I meant to answer anything to that?
No.
All right, because I got nothing.
Can you just mute, please, Jay?
Sorry?
Can you just mute that for a minute, please?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the right thing to do, Nick. But the biggest problem, of course, is that beginners they generally buy a bowl blank and paid for it, and they're trying to get as much timber out of it as they can. They don't care about style or design or anything like that, or what looks good. Of course, there are times when dock bowls are just what's needed, or brake drums as I call them.
I don't know. I think that people that do that, what they're after subconsciously is instant satisfaction. Hey, look what I did. And that I see that in a lot of hobbies. Let's get it done, get it quick, and they're instantly happy they did it, and then they set it aside
Yeah, good
or
night.
give it away.
Good night, Dutch. See you later. Thanks for coming in. Yeah, I know. It's like what I was saying the other day that when I started wood turning, I wanted to know how a tree grew. So I started looking up forestry and all that, and then I wanted to know how a forest grew and the reasons why they did that. And it's the same with the live I did on Sunday night. I like to know how things are made, why they're made, the history of them. I like to know all the background stuff about what I'm doing because it just makes it easier for me to work. Yeah, that
Nick,
can look quite... Sorry, Blair, go on.
Go ahead,
Blair. Oh, sorry. Go!
I was going to say, Nick, your bowl that you made that has the bubbles on top, brilliant. It's beautiful.
Yeah, that I quite like that funnel shape, particularly in a deep bowl, believe it or not, or a tall bowl. With just a little subtle curve in it, looks really good. But if you keep the sides straight, it doesn't look half as good as just putting a little curve in it. Generally an inward curve rather than an outward curve. So that it looks like the mouth of a trumpet, only not quite as accentuated. Yeah, I'm the same as you, Mike. I have to be inspired to make things. Generally, people yelling at me gets me going, and when they pay me, that's even better.
Definitely an influencer.
Just be careful how deep you go there, Jay.
Really, Nick? It was beautiful. You did a great job.
Just before you said that, it was just starting to change sounds in there. So I thought I'll let it go just a little bit more. You know, that one more cut.
Yeah, I know.
One, just a little more.
Blair knows about that.
Yep. Yep, just a little more. Just a little more.
Hey, did you do that on a live?
I don't think so.
Oh, sorry, it doesn't class as the Funnel Club then. You didn't like that answer?
I didn't hear you. Sorry.
I said if it wasn't recorded on a live, then it doesn't count. You can't join the funnel club. Sorry.
Right?
Yeah.
I like that. If it's not on video, it doesn't exist.
Oh, that's
Exactly.
it. If there's no pictures, it's not true.
That's right. Exactly. Tell everyone you caught a 10-foot fish and really it was only half a foot.
Then it becomes hearsay.
That's right.
All right. There's the candle holder. I'll catch you later.
I think that's like a lot of us guys. You just put something on the lathe and, it's organic. Whatever shape comes about. And if a mistake happens, then it's a design change. And, so long as you leave happy, then you've won.
Yep. Well, you remember that your Star Trek knot up the back there, Blair?
Yeah.
I'll turn the bowl around. You can now see the other side of that knot down there. Can you see that? The darker spot.
Yeah.
I'm not drilling any further down.
Well, if that comes out, then you can say that that's a diet bowl. Because anything that will leak out, and
maybe that's a bowl I need.
don't we all?
All right, so it's about there's mostly about an inch before the bottom, but having those splits in there, I don't see that's going to be a very stable inch.
Rob, did you put that on a video for your finial, or did you put it on Facebook or Instagram or anything like that?
Well, that's all right, Rob. At least you got one win. I've only got my wife to show it to. If she doesn't like it, I'm done for.
I was just practicing doing a finial with a 2-inch skew chisel the other day.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I could like to see you and Cindy Drozda go at that. The one thing that the two of you definitely agree on is sharp has to be sharp.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. That's the first law of wood turning. Rule number 1.
And I think when it comes to finials is being able to feel comfortable enough with your tool handling to actually hold the piece with your fingers while you're cutting it.
Oh,
You
well,
can't get a steady rest to do it. Not
No.
that thin.
and well, that comes about from me from doing balusters. Like we use our hands all the time for holding balusters.
Yeah, I want to see your new video, but I haven't found it yet when I've looked it up under your name. Do you have a different name for your second site?
No, if you put in Robbo Robertson YouTube, it may come up on a thing, but I can send you the link to it if you like.
Yeah, if you would, then I'll mark that.
Right, wait on, I'll do that. Don't talk about me while I'm not here.
Okay, the notice just came through that today's meeting's online.
Oh, yeah.
Anything bad you want to say? Oh shit, he's still here. Don't say it yet.
The DAW Turner's Talk meeting just went live. Oh, and the hottest thing right now is an argument on Australian ABC News. Should NZ tourists be visiting states that haven't signed up to the travel bubble? That's the debate from Australia. And that was posted 19 minutes ago. Unfortunately, the world has the same problem. It's interesting how different parts of it want to do the spinning of it differently, and often internally within countries. They always try to take the facts and make them the way they want them to be, or they don't exist at all.
All right, so this might turn out to be a rather thick bowl all the way around, including the sides.
Well,
Thank you, Robo.
sometimes, Jay, discretion is better than valor, I tell you.
Yeah, no, I'm cutting into that big black knot now. See?
Yeah. Well, what I'd do is just to decorate that rim a little bit. Is just get your skew chisel on the side and just put a couple of rings around it.
Yeah, I was going to ask if I could put burn rings in there or something.
You don't have to ask me. You can say I'm going to. You can say I'm going to put rings in there, and if I don't like it, I'll just say no. You're not.
Well, I was going to try and get it thin, and then try and put some burn rings on the inside of the rim, but it's too delicate for that, so I'm not even going to bother. Crackers. I need crackers. Oh, knock that. Whoops.
What? Yeah,
That's funny, Nick.
Would you like some?
yeah.
Are they yours? No. Blair already showed me, Nick. The water runs the same way. It's all lies. This is going to be tricky. I can't get the handle down low enough to use the very point of the skew.
No, well, what do you mean? You lay it down flat like a scraper and just use the point.
Oh, you want me to do it that way? All right.
Yeah, on cross grain work, you do it like that. Geez, the bevels on that thing are atrocious, Jay.
Yeah, I know. I know you don't like those words either, but
Yeah, I've just got it, Rob. I'll just have a look at it in a second. I just want to watch what Jay's doing here.
that's all I'm doing.
Right now, have you got a soft stick or something like a wedge or an ice cream stick?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, right. Now sit it on its edge and push it into the groove. All right.
Yeah.
While it's spinning. Really hard.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. Do the other
Melt
one. Yeah. Right. There you go. That just makes it look a little bit attractive.
Yep. Whew. All right. It's making here. Hi. How you going?
Oh,
Not bad at all. Oh,
uh-huh. No, camera's away.
what?
Oh, just wait a second.
Secret women's business. Turn your mic off.
Well, I hope you don't mind if I eat while I'm watching and participating, but being diabetic, I got to watch the clock.
Go right ahead. You'll feel fine. All right.
The old body is wearing out.
Yep.
You can't even kick the fenders anymore without leaving bruises.
Stop kicking the fenders then. Woo! Yeah, let's not do that, hey.
An Australian drilly.
Hey?
An Australian drilly.
Yeah.
If you from from online,
Sorry?
the British turner that I can't think of his name, but his drill is so
Oh.
noisy. They have
Wayne.
T-shirts about it.
Wayne the wood turner.
Yeah, Wayne. The Aussie version of drilly.
Terrible in there.
I don't know, Mike. I think we're dystopian.
I'll answer you in a minute, Rob. All right, I've had a look at it. Geez, you're not going intellectual on us, are you, Mike?
I think I need I need to find the smallest air compressor they can make.
No, it won't be strong enough to blow the air out of it.
I'll just buy
What you
some.
actually?
I'll buy some canned air then.
No, what you're better off buying is, have you got cordless drills or do you use corded ones?
I've got a cordless one.
What is it, a Ryobi?
Bosch.
A Bosch?
Yeah.
Well, see if they make thanks, hon. See if they make a blower.
Oh, yeah.
So you can use battery out of it.
Yep.
I find that works pretty good for most of the stuff I do around here anyway. Now, Rob, I had a look at your little finial. Yeah, good job on that. A little bit of tear out down the bottom, but that's not too bad. Yeah, don't drink it.
Yeah.
There's no incentive to drink it in Australia. It's not purple.
No. Or blue. It always amazes me. Our kerosene's blue.
Yep.
But metho, they've always left clear. Sometimes it has a little purple tint to it, but not much. And in Australia, it's mainly not for people drinking it. It's mainly so as kids don't drink it accidentally thinking it's soft drink or something.
Yep.
I don't know about the States or England, but it's actually an offence in Australia to put cleaning fluids or anything into soft drink bottles. Like decanting metho or something into a Coke bottle or something like that.
It would be in a sense that it would have to have all the proper labeling and child-proof cap that you have to push down and twist. And it could take a fall from so many feet. So other than that,
I'll tell you what, they're not child-proof caps. They're bloody adult-proof caps sometimes.
well, I got big skull and crossbone labels in red with a sticky backing, and I stick them on just in case some idiot doesn't read the directions.
Yeah, well, in that case, then, Rob, that's not too bad, actually.
Well, Blair, are you going to come back next Saturday for our
Oh, is
workshop?
it every weekend or?
No, we have a club meeting and then we have a workshop. And the
Oh,
workshop
well,
is next Saturday at 10 o'clock Eastern.
so
I'll send you a link to it.
yeah,
Or you can pull it down from the website, but I'll
8
send you
o'clock
a
in the
link.
morning is good for me.
Yeah. That's where you have a mentor and they work out labs. That's why he was talking about the fact, long as you got a cell phone, you can participate because you can always aim it at what you're doing so as the demonstrator, quote, instructor, can look at it and be able to critique and solve problems. And if we get enough people that have individual lathes that sign up to do it, then we actually can split them into paired rooms because you can do that. Where you can set up these meeting rooms. Our license covers that. So we can put you in with 2 or 3 beginners, and it would be just like it is here, but just the 2 or 3.
Cool.
And we've experimented with both. Other clubs stick willingly, and we let them all come look to see because it's feedback is what counts. It's not something proprietary, uh, like the Grand River uh, wood turners. They cover the other side of our state, all the little clubs. That's like their big parent club that they can get a lot of demonstrators from and that. So, and that's good. And they
Yeah.
do the same thing.
Nick is asking, Bob, what time and day are the meetings?
Well, you can log into the Detroit Area Wood Turners site, and that'll give it to you. But also, we have a Facebook page, and that'll give it to you. And you can actually sign up if you want to get invites to the meetings. But the club meetings are on Sunday, and they unofficially or officially to us start. What was it, 12:30 today? And that's an hour of just people getting together and talking about anything.
Yeah,
And then we start the meeting.
that's funny, Jay. I take it Amber just made you a coffee. Julie just bought me out a cup of tea.
Great
Yeah.
minds think alike.
Yep.
You are good women.
Good morning, men, gentlemen.
Good morning, Amber. How are you?
Good. Good.
I hope you slept. Hope you slept well with Jay getting up at 2 o'clock in the morning.
I think I woke up once, but
No,
I go back to sleep really easy. So
no. You
I
sound
just-
like Julie. She does too.
I don't hear anything. Like I said, the burglar could be breaking into my house, and I'd wake up with nothing. I wouldn't hear anything.
That's not a good way to put it, but all right.
Yeah, the other good reason for doing that, Mike, and decanting it, is that methyl and denatured alcohol actually attract water or moisture.
Oh no, it cracked.
No?
Is this the same?
Nah.
And
No?
if you
Oh,
using it for doing shellac, water is a killer.
still like this one though. What's this one?
That's the Cyprus. That's the last bowl blank that's in there.
Oh, look.
Yeah.
Baby, you need a super glue.
No, that's fine.
Really? Look at that.
She's coming in here and telling me what I need to do already. And you need to say it.
She knows.
You know what? You lot can go and sit in the corner together because I'm not doing it.
Hi, Tommy. I just seen your comment. I'm in the background. I'm always listening, so I know stuff.
like normal female, hey, they're always listening.
Well, that
Yeah,
and
so-
in the back of their heads too.
So that anything said can be used as ammunition later.
Yeah,
That's right.
exactly.
I got to pull out my book and refer back to 5 years ago.
Yeah. No, fortunately, Julie doesn't do that. I got a better memory than she has.
And I bet you she doesn't like you for that.
I know.
Yeah, my wife's memory, her long-term memory is excellent. Her short-term is terrible.
funny you mentioned that, Mike. Like in Australia, the average household is allowed to keep pretty much anything they like in the garage, but registered businesses like panel beaters and things like that have to keep all their paint and solvents and everything in a metal cabinet. And but I'm sort of I've got my workshop in the backyard, so but we're allowed a certain amount of petrol, solvents, and things like that around the house anyway. So I don't quite come into it because I don't have enough around. But where it is stored is registered with our local fire brigade, so that if there's a fire here, they know what they're looking for or what they're walking into. Touch wood, we've never had a fire around here, so we're pretty lucky. We've had smouldering in the dust extractors once, where it picked up a hot spark off a big router that we've got. That caused a bit of consternation for a while. Yeah, all right, Mike, good to catch you. See you later. Good luck on your battle.
See you later, Mike. Thanks for coming in.
Bye, Mike.
Nick said hello, Amber.
I'll tell her you said hi, Nick. She's run away.
I don't blame her.
We got my mother-in-law is giving away all of her Christmas decorations, and she's got enough to fill like 2 department stores pretty much. So we're going over there today to collect some of it. That's what she's gone inside to get ready for.
Do you decorate outside?
A little bit, yeah. And we haven't really done it much, but this year we were going to go all out. So, yeah. If we can get the all the stuff for free, then it makes it more of an incentive. Pretty safe neighbourhood around here. Nothing. I leave anything out the front. Well, maybe not money, but I can leave most things out the front and they don't get taken.
Yeah, we're about the same. We're in at the end of a cul-de-sac, and all the neighbors know each other. So,
Yep. Yeah, I'm in a little bit.
very,
I'm in a little court, a really tiny one. Same kind of thing.
Yeah, ain't that the truth, Tommy?
True that.
Only my wife's my wife. She remembers a few stupid things I've done. Fortunately, she doesn't remember as many as I do.
aren't you glad she doesn't watch or listen to your live stream?
No, now this will strike you as funny. My wife and I she used to take holidays when I was demonstrating in shopping centres and that, and she'd handle all the sales and everything. But she has never watched me turn. Not ever. It just appears, that's all. She'll say if she likes something or not. If I show her something, I'll say, what do you think of that? And it's good because she's brutally honest in that respect.
Do you have a catalog of your architectural parts that you've done to
No,
at least get out to people so they know?
no. We used to build a lot of very expensive furniture as well. And every client, I said, oh, I'll do drawings. No, we trust you. Just do it the way that you want to do it. I've never asked for a deposit except off one customer that the hairs on the back of my neck raised up. And I've only ever had one woman. We made a big dining table for her. And, it was absolutely beautiful, I must admit. Like I thought so anyway, a big blackwood one. And we delivered it on our way on holidays. And when we delivered it, she said, oh, no, look, I don't think it suits the room, or I'm not happy with it. I said, oh, well, we're away for a fortnight. I'll pick it up on the way home. She said, okay. So anyway, about 10 days later, we had to come home early, and I rang her up and I said, oh, when would you like me to pick up that table? She said, if you touch that table, I'll kill you.
He grew on her, right?
I said, why? She said, well, after you left, my daughter and son-in-law came around and said, oh, that table, it just suits this room so well, you know, and blah, blah, blah. And she said, after I walked past it about 3 or 4 times and saw it in the sunlight and everything, she said, I had to agree with them. It looks totally fantastic where it is. So, but no, that was a deal I had with people. Like I furnished a whole house in Sydney. It was only just a small house, 80 squares. I did every room except the kitchen because I wouldn't work with melamine, and never do any drawings. He just stated roughly what he wanted and let me go ahead and do it. So pretty fortunate. But I did have a photo album of everything, but somebody stole it. So, and I lost a computer about 4 years ago that had a lot of other pictures and things in it as well. It just totally crashed, and they couldn't get anything. I'd send it to a place to see if they could retrieve anything off the hard drive, and they couldn't, which grossly annoyed me.
Yeah. That's why I keep everything online also as a backup. It's well worth the money.
Well,
Family photos, stuff like that, that I have the only copies of now.
yeah. These days I've got two plug-in hard drives that I back up onto.
I'll still drive me.
No, that was a good job, that Sydney job. I worked on that for 5 years.
That's a long job. It's a very long job.
Yeah. As I said, well, he wanted to build a tennis court on the hill. And the council knocked it back because of foundations. And he was yakking to me one day, and I just jokingly said, well, why don't you photograph it and remove the hill, and then put the foundations in and put the hill back, and then put the tennis court on top. So he did. He hired a professional photographer, and they photographed it from a helicopter and everything else because there were no drones in those days. And he built a squash court, a sauna, and a 240-seat ballroom with complete bar underneath it. So the tennis court was basically on the roof. And then they replaced the hill all around it. So he wasn't short of a quid, but I had to do 40 tables and 6 chairs each on those for those tables. 240 chairs. God, I hate chairs. And
Bet you do after that.
yeah, but no, it was a great job. Attached to the house via a walkway, a covered walkway, was a 30-square guest house that the family used to stay in when they visited. And then he had a boat shed. There was now pretty exclusive area, the Hawkesbury River. And he had a house over the Hawkesbury River as well with a boat shed in it. And I used to stay in the guest house when I was up there because I'd be out there for a week or a fortnight. I used to flat pack everything and assemble it up there. And he had guests in, so I couldn't stay in the guest house one day. So he said, look, you're going to have to stay down the boat shed with Carl. Now, Carl was his father-in-law. He was married to a Swedish lady. And I said, oh, that's all right. So I get down there and Carl meets me. I'd met him a few times before. And he said, oh, Peter wants you to take the boat out. I said, why? Oh, well, it hasn't had a run for a few months. It needs to have a good run. So I said, oh, all right. Now, bear in mind that the boathouse was 40 squares, built out over the Hawkesbury River. So we go down to the boat shed. And in the boat shed, now, I don't know if you know anything about boats, but we have a boat builder out here called Hal Vorson. And, man, he builds luxury yachts, is what they're classed as. And in this boat shed was a Hal Vorson speedboat that looked like the 1930s with a straight bow and the lovely teak decks with all the white caulking in it. And, it just looks so fantastic.
Classic.
Yeah. So chrome everywhere as well. Stainless steel at least. So I said, you sure he wants me to take this out? Oh, yeah. So I fired it up and look, I'm not joking. The 30 buildings on each side of this place shook. It was a V12. And
Wow.
running a jet, like running a water jet, drive on it. And I said, oh, are you sure he wants? Yeah. So we're puttering up the river, and Carl said, oh, give it a bit of stick. Now, the whole of the Hawkesbury River in that section at Bobbin Head is lined with houses, people, very expensive houses. When I'm idling out, I reckon there's about 25 or 30 people hanging over balconies because I could hear this thing thumping up the river. So I get out of the speed limit thing, give it about half throttle. Well, it nearly broke my bloody neck. It just took off that fast. So I thought, oh, well, I said to Carl, I said, I wonder what she'll do. He said, Peter's never found out. I said, well, we're about to. It was, according to the gauge, it was doing 70 knots, which is about 90 mile an hour.
Phew.
And this thing just sat so nice on the water, you know, like it just got up and planed beautifully. And we're thumping up and down the river, and I'm having an absolute ball. And by this time, there's about 600 people hanging over balconies. Yay! Go for it, you know! And anyway, we're running a bit short of petrol. So where's the fuel station? Oh, down around the bend. So I go down the bend. I get to the wharf, and there's Danny was the service station bloke, and there's an old bloke standing there. And Carl said, oh, when we're pulling in, he said, oh, you're in for a treat here. I said, why is that? He said, there's the man that built the boat. He said, that's Carl Halvorsen. I said, oh, really? He said, yeah. So anyway, we pull into the dock, and he introduced me to Mr. Halvorsen. So, all right, see you later, Tommy. So anyway,
Yeah, Tommy.
he said to me, he said, oh, I knew Peter wasn't driving it. He said, because you have been driving it. So he said, you've been driving it the way it was meant to be driven. Anyway, over a period of 10 minutes while they're fueling it up, he told me the story. He actually built the boat for himself, and he wasn't going to sell it. But Peter offered him so much money for this boat that he couldn't refuse it. So, but he'd only ever driven it once. So he said, oh, do you mind if I come up tomorrow for a ride? And I said, no, go for it. So the next day comes along, and he's there, and I said, look, I gave him the keys. I said, you drive it. And man, he was in his late 70s then, and he was like a bloody teenager, I tell you. And we're hacking up the river. He slowed it down to about 45 knots. He said, I've often wondered how this thing handles. He said, we got our life jackets on. I said, yep. He just spun the wheel from one side to the other. Now, that thing hung upside down, I'm sure of it, as it went round the wave, you know. Yep. He said, oh, man, this is fantastic. And he'd give it the full boot just after it straightened up. And the thing really got up and danced. And for 2 hours, we fanged up and down. And he was like, he said, you made me alive again, you know. So I get to Peter's place the next day. Peter said, oh, I believe you took the boat for a run. I said, yeah. He said, oh, yeah. He said, yeah, Carl rang me up and said, you made his day by taking him in his boat. And I said, well, that's good. So, yes, I've had some interesting jobs over the years. You forgot to mark the middle, didn't you?
What?
You forgot to put a little dimple in the middle, didn't you?
Like that?
No, you've marked the centre now, but you normally put a little mark.
I'm getting there. Relax.
Yeah. One day you'll remember.
I'm half asleep, you know. At least I put the place to put the point in, eh?
Yeah.
I'll show you the nice crack that comes out of the knot in a minute. And I smashed it in. Look. Look, yeah. It's cracked either side of it.
Yeah.
It's cracked on
I reckon if you'd gone much deeper, it would have come out.
Yeah.
Why could you listen to me all day, Rob? Jeez, I speak tripe half the time.
Well, then you
Ah,
need to. You got enough
TF,
people. You ought to do a podcast every day.
TFT Tony, good evening. Or good morning it is in Australia.
How you going, TF Turning?
Ah, Tim. Okay, good. Thanks, Rob.
How you going, Tim?
So Tim,
Oh no, I must admit I've had a great life. I've done a lot of interesting things, been some interesting places. Best part is that I remember it all. Well, at the moment, anyway.
Dinner's ready.
I'm done.
Oh, I might stop there. I didn't like that noise.
Yeah, even I heard it. No, turn the rest around to the side.
Oh, I plunged in. Okay.
There you go.
Yeah, push against the headstock.
Yeah.
Yep.
Not a,
Right.
And stand out of the way just in case it flies in half.
Yeah, I'll be behind it.
Good.
Jay, you really need to get you one of these.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For doing this part anyway.
They're not that expensive. And they're worth it.
Sorry, what was that last part, Blair?
They're not that expensive, and they're worth it.
Yeah. No, I just sometimes I get to the lathe, my local lathe store, and I get glammed. I see something else.
I wouldn't do it at the lathe store. I'd get it online. They're cheaper.
Yeah, they're not too bad. This place.
is it a local merchant?
Sorry.
Is it a local merchant?
No, it's Carbotech, but I think they get a lot of their stuff's Chinese anyway. But I'd rather they waited 6 months for it to get here and not me.
Yeah, but I mean, is it a local merchant, part of your community that you're supporting?
Yeah, basically,
Yeah.
yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, because that to me is always important. It costs a little more, but they're neighbors, their community, and you have to support them,
Yeah.
or they won't be there when you need
Yep.
them.
It's a cone centre,
Yeah.
Rob.
For
Just
yourself.
hold it up again. Just hold it up again, Blair. Only to be used for doing this job, and if it's got a hole in the end of it, so that it holds it centred. Otherwise, use a revolving cup centre.
My favorite is actually a revolving center with the cone that screws on it.
Yeah,
I got a couple of them.
one way.
No, they're Chinese made, locally sold.
Yeah.
But all the other ones, I think I've gotten rid of or given them away. I just like the idea that I have both at once. And there's a lot of accessories that you can screw onto it. Like here, our club member, Rubber Chucky, he makes a ton of rubber adapters that go on
Yeah.
it for all sorts of custom turning. You saw one today that he made.
Yep. I nearly had to correct that lady, but somebody else corrected it for me. They weren't spurtles, they were spatulas. Spurtle is just a stick. Yeah, well, that's right, Nick. You've got to look after your own suppliers around the area, or they won't be there, and then you've got to go bloody 100 miles to get anything.
Yeah, I got a local lumber yard within walking distance of my house. It's a bit of a walk, maybe a mile and a half. It's an old-fashioned lumber yard,
Yeah.
all indoor. And if I need something, cut-offs or something like that, or I get calls from them. We've got some perfect stuff here that we had to cut off. The customer, a cut-off is when the customer's paid for it, and they have cut the wood down, and the customer doesn't want what they consider scrap. So I was doing some pepper mills last year for a friend and for a present at where he worked. And I got all this lumber for it free, and it was expensive lumber, all cutoffs.
Yeah.
And you have to support the local merchant. And now I've done some demo work for him, spears with the spear jig I got, and a few other things that I have done, custom chair legs. I got one now to do because someone stood on a side brace. I don't know what it's technically called, but out of the four leg chair, the ones on the side aren't as strong. And they decide that a 200-pound adult can stand on it. They can, but it goes snap. So I've got a couple of them to make. And that's because of the lumber yard. People come in and say, "Can you make this part or buy it for me?" Thinking it's out of a Sears catalog. No, but we got someone who can. Just leave us the part. And they've even been in the COVID. They bring it over to me. Tell me about it, bring it over, and put it in a bag. And
Yeah,
they pick it up the same way.
I have a good deal with my local timber yard that I deal with. Love me because I take shorts. You know, anything up to 1.2 metres long I'll take, because I'm cutting it back down generally anyway to laminate it up for various things. So, woodworking 220s in -7, sorry.
Hey, Louie, how are you, man?
How you going? How you going, Louie?
All right, gentlemen. Well, the time's come. I've got to go rake some leaves. So I will see you guys later.
Domestic duties, eh?
Unfortunately, my yard looks like hell. So you guys have a good evening.
All right,
Yep.
thanks
You
for
too.
listening. Catch you later.
I'm glad you could make it to our club meeting.
Yeah, I appreciate the invite. That was good. I really enjoyed it. All right, there we go, folks.
So, Rob, it's not too short. It's not too high at all.
What?
Rob said it should have been cut down a bit in height, but I knew what it was going to look like.
This?
Yeah.
Rob?
No, that's a good balance.
Besides the bit messy down here, I couldn't do anything about that, but
with the force and a bit.
yeah.
Yeah,
and,
Louis, unfortunately, we're just about finished.
Yeah. We had a rather early one today, Louis. only because we've been up since 2 o'clock this morning.
No, it's too late now. It's already
Yeah, so got the knot under there. I've still
Looks
got
like
to
a
put,
Star Trek logo.
yeah,
Yeah.
that's what Blair said. Yeah. And
Unfortunately, I think it's going to crack to
Yeah.
you know where. So,
Yeah, and then that's the inside of that that bit on the outside. So, but yeah, it's already starting to crack. So, yeah, oh, can't be helped.
no,
Wood moves.
Yeah, maybe it's still growing. All right,
yes, that's what I told one of my apprentices once. That listen, mate, the wood moves faster than you do.
Yeah. All right, I'm gonna have to go. I was meant to be at my at
Mother-in-law's
Amber's
house.
parents' house. Yeah, at 10 o'clock, and it's 25 past. So,
Yeah.
I'll
All right. See you later, Jay.
I better go. Catch you all later.
Yep.
Bye, all. Thanks
Bye.
for coming in.
Yeah, thanks for coming in. Don't forget to hit the thumbs up or thumbs down, whatever suits you. I don't really care. See you later.
Yep. Good night or good afternoon.
Yes.